The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio, and in that studio, Chemung County Executive Chris Moss. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, here we go. It's less than a week away. How are you feeling?
Less than a week away. I'll be happy when it's over with. It's been a long election season.
It really has been. And the unique thing for yours, and I want to clarify this for people, as of the 23rd, it's all over but the shouting. Win, lose, or draw, there's no general, right?
Well, I have the conservative line.
Oh, you do it? Well, okay, yeah. But
yeah, I mean, we have a few legislative races, but then you have the governor's race and so forth. Yeah, but in Chemung County, there's really not much on the ballot.
Yeah, and so basically the winner of this primary, well, again, you have the conservative, but I mean, this is kind of the big one for you, June 23rd. Again, June 23rd, early voting has begun now. So a couple quick things to go through. How's the pig roast planning going?
Good. Busy. Yeah. It'll be our 21st year.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we started at Pine City Fire Department, then ended up moving to my wife and I's home, and it's, yeah.
How long is the planning for something like that?
It takes a couple of months. I mean, everything from the heads to the pig to the tents to the invitations, and so it's a big thing. Securing a band, I had no idea. I mean, if you don't do that 8 months in advance, you don't get one.
Yeah, they're already booked up.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. And it's a fun event. You must look forward to it every year, though.
I do. We have a good time. Old friends come, and it's always a good time. And then you got to clean up.
Yeah.
And everyone's gone.
And no one's there to help anymore. Everybody loves a pig, and then they run. So the big surprise, the big news story was the other day, there was a debate, illegal, not expecting you to attend. I don't think a lot of people are expecting you to attend, and then you knocked on the door, you showed up.
Sure, and I'm not sure I'd call it a debate. It was more of a question answer, and it was set up by my opponent's campaign, the entire thing. Mm-hmm. I think the questions were given to members of the audience. I mean, it was that type of issue, but you know what? I'm never afraid to answer questions or speak to the voters, so I'll speak to as many as 1 or 10 or 15, through the years. But I don't think they were expecting me.
I don't think they were either. How did it go overall?
I thought it went very well for me.
Yeah, okay, well, perfect. So starting right at kind of the easy question in the beginning, why did you decide to run for re-election?
You know what? Originally, I was only going to run for 2 terms. That was my plan. And the pandemic really it just spoiled everything. I mean, everything we did involved the pandemic at some point for almost 3++ years. So there's some things I still want to get finished, and young enough, I think I could still, I can do 4 more. But I said at the question and answer debate, whatever you want to call it, this would be my final term as county executive, because I am a true believer in term limits, and I pushed that my first term.
Right.
We got it through in the second term, so the legislature and the county executive are tapped out at 3 4-year terms. But yeah, I mean, next gen 911, getting the sheriff's office some more working space.
Sure.
We want to finish up the sewer district project that we inherited. So there's a lot of things left on the table that I'd like to complete.
And what was the reaction to term limits? Because I know from the voters, they love term limits.
The voters were in favor of it. That's all I wanted to do is give it to the voters.
Right.
I mean, I see in Onondaga County, Ryan McMahon just vetoed it.
Yeah.
And I don't think the legislature has the votes to override it. So that's going to be an interesting one. But I think you always have to have new faces, new ideas, new initiatives, and 12 years should be long enough to get your agenda finished.
I would think so.
And I mean, we have some 1 or 2 legislators that have been there way too long. I think you have to have those fresh ideas. And when incumbents are there for too long, they're hard to beat. So everybody else becomes disinterested in even running for the spot.
Sure.
One thing I wish they would have done is kind of staggered it. Because we don't want to see 15 new legislators, which we have too many in Chemung County anyway.
Right.
But we don't want to see 15 new legislators all at one time.
Yeah.
So we kind of should have staggered it.
That's true. And then you figure with the even year election law, which is such a joke in New York State, so that means everybody is going to be on the ballot at the same time. So everybody's going to be fighting for ad space, fighting for TV time. Those are going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, thank goodness everybody has a term limit out at the same time, because imagine a brand new legislator that knows nothing.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So when you're on the street and you're talking with people and you're campaigning, what have you found to be the biggest issues that you're hearing about?
You know what? A lot of the issues, unfortunately, are what we can't control. Diesel fuel. It is hurting everybody. Yes. I mean, from the guy that mows lawns right up to the businesses that depend on,
supplies.
Commerce and supplies, getting them in and getting them out. So diesel fuel, gasoline is big. NICEAG. It's a big thing, but I try and tell these folks we've done what we can do at the local level. So it's really tough because a lot of the problems are created by the federal, state level, and they end up in our lap. So there's a lot of road complaints. We're always trying to work on the homeless. So I mean, there are some local issues, but the big issues that seem to be hitting the pocketbook aren't at the local level.
No, of course not. And I think every town, every city, every legislator has sent a letter to Hochul and others saying deal with nice egg prices, but apparently they're falling.
Yeah,
You only
yeah,
get so many letters.
I'm not sure what's going on there, and I'm not sure how many PAC committees Nice Egg has and where the money flows, but it's just becoming, it's unaffordable is the problem.
And you mentioned the homelessness issue because it's a big issue here in Steuben County too. How have you had to deal with it? Because obviously, I think it goes without saying, homelessness is becoming a big issue in our area.
It is, and we have a sizable shelter in Chemung County, but a lot of folks don't want to seem to stay there. Yeah. We do have some that want to stay there, but when the weather turns warm, they all migrated and they try to go where water is, so in the creeks and the river and so forth. Last month we had a big detail where we had to relocate 11 of them. 3 of them had warrants.
Oh, wow.
We take social services with us to say, hey, here are the services that are available to you, but every single one of them, and I went down there personally, like, I've been to the shelter, I don't like the rules, I don't want to have to get up at this time or go to bed at this time.
Sure.
They don't want it. They'd rather be out roaming around, especially when the weather's warm enough for them. So it's a tough problem.
It's definitely a tough problem. So for those that aren't fully aware, as again, primary is the 23rd, what are your sole responsibilities, your main responsibilities, I should say, as an executive?
As county executive, every day is a little bit different, but we have a little over 1,000 employees. We have a budget over $300 million. So it's a day-to-day issue. I might meet with the airport manager tomorrow, and then DPW superintendent the following day.
Gotcha.
Normally deal with department heads, budget. The budget alone takes 4 to 5 months to finish,
wow.
and then as soon as the budget's over, it's time to audit the previous year. So there's always something going on, and then there's the public portion of it. For years since I was sheriff, weekends are normally full. I have an event calendar, and I try and hit events all over different parts of the county, just so people can see the county executive,
of course,
talk to me, ask me questions, and so forth. And it's something that's carried on since I was sheriff to county executive. Now I take the current sheriff with me. Yeah. So to be honest with you, you'll see us on Facebook or on social media on the weekends. We're hitting all kinds of events, and I think people like that because it gives you that approachable type of thing, and people will come right up. They'll ask a question about a pistol permit, or how come I can't take my garbage on these days or these hours? Some crazy questions, but you know what? They're great questions, and I think it just makes you that much more grounded that people feel they can come up to you. I go to Wegmans. Yeah. Questions all the time. You can't make it. It takes an hour to get through the store. But you know what? It's an elected position, and that's what you're there for.
Do you feel that your time as sheriff prepared you for the job as executive?
It's a lot different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I always tell people jokingly, I say I wear my gun more as executive than I ever did as sheriff. But I think it did because I knew all the county department heads. I kind of knew how the county operated. But the budgetary portion of it and the relationship with the legislature portion of it is much different than it is being sheriff.
Sure. When you look, if you're lucky enough to get in and be reelected, what are some of your biggest goals for your final term?
I think, like I said, we inherited a sewer district project, which is Chemung County's biggest capital plan ever. So we're consolidating 2 sewer districts into one, and that is being mandated by the state and federal government. If we don't do it, the fine per day is like $12,000 a day. It's just ridiculous. Wow. But we're on target. That project is on budget and on time. So hopefully this fall we'll be letting everybody see what has come to fruition over a 3-4 year period. And that's another project where the pandemic really increase the cost. Sure. From labor to materials and so forth. Next Gen 911, our 911 system is antiquated. Okay. It's time for us to get into this century with it, so we're going to be working on that. The county and the legislature purchased 150 Lake Street, the old Marine Midland HSBC building, right next to the county complex downtown. So we've been able to move the district attorney's office, EMO, personnel, planning. They're all in there. So the plan is to we have some additional space there, jockey some people around, so we get the sheriff's office moved out of the basement into the main floor of William Street where they're at. The road patrol deputies and investigators have been working out of the basement for decades and decades. So it's time to
maybe they don't want to move.
They want to move. Okay. I'll tell the sheriff you said that.
Yeah, I know. When you look at the next 4 years, what are kind of the biggest challenges that you think you'll be facing?
You always want to watch. We watch sales tax. Every municipality, every county depends on that sales tax, and the sharing formula from county to county is different. But we hope the sales tax, stays steady, because if it doesn't, already our property tax is eaten up by state mandates, like 120%.
Crazy.
So So if you don't have the sales tax revenue, excuse me, you'd be in big trouble.
And how do you, because actually there's been some pretty amazing things happening in Chemung when you talk about businesses and people coming in, how do you encourage businesses to come to an area in a state that is so kind of not business friendly, to be polite.
You know what? I think that's where, that's why we have these IDAs, and that's why we have these pilots, but I think that can become problematic, as you probably saw in Big Flats last week. There's a 30-year pilot being offered to a housing development project in the town of Big Flats, and the residents aren't happy. And I'm not sure if part of them aren't happy with the length of the pilot, but a lot of them aren't happy because they were never notified. We have the public hearing on one day, and the IDA votes on it less than 24 hours later. That's problematic. We've got to have better communication to the residents, the town supervisor, the town boards. Everybody should be in on these decisions before they're made.
Sure. What do you think, as we kind of get ready to wrap up here, what do you think about, we'll kind of do a positive and negative. What's the most positive thing? Well, let's start with the negative. What's the most negative thing that you think Chemung County is facing today?
I'd have to say the homelessness. That's the thing we've really got to get. We really got to get our arm around. But it's not just Chemung County. It's counties throughout. It's all over the United States. And you can only help people that want to help themselves. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but you can only do just so much. We take them to the shelter, we take them to DSS, we try and get them services. But unfortunately, we probably need more money for mental health from the feds or the state at some point, because it's not just drugs. A lot of it is mental health.
I agree. And what's the most positive thing that you'll be facing in the next 4 years?
Well, I think we're on a boom. We've got Siemens coming, we've got Amazon coming, so there's jobs coming, there's new houses being developed, and I see good things for Chemung County. We're financially stable right now, so hopefully we're in a good position.
All right, so the million-dollar question, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. The primary is on the 23rd. How do you get people out to vote?
It's tough. Early voting, only 100 Republicans have voted so far in the first 3 days. Under 100. So it's not a big election day because there's no huge primaries. But you know what? I would hope my supporters come out and support me on the 23rd.
Sure.
I know a lot of Republicans like to vote on the actual day rather than early voting. But you know what? I think we've done our due diligence. We've done mailers. We've done TV. We've done door knocking. Sure. We've done everything we need to do, but that doesn't guarantee you that your supporters are going to come out.
Right.
So I just hope people don't think, oh, Chris Moss has it in the bag, so I don't need to go vote. Please go vote.
Or as I say in the show so often, people will say, well, I'll get you in the general. Don't worry, I'm busy on the primary. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't
we
work
need you
like
in the
that.
primary.
It doesn't work like that, yes.
So how can people help in these final days of the campaign?
You know what? We have over 800 signs out already throughout the county, so those all got to be picked up. But no, you know what? It's early voting now, and we're a week away from Election Day. So the best thing you do is please go out and vote. Take your brother, sister, husband, wife, neighbor, grandfather. If you're a Republican, go and vote. We'd appreciate it.
Well, best of luck in the election. Best of luck with the roast, the pig roast. That's probably what you're more nervous about.
That'll be a good time. Yeah.
Before we go, what do you say to voters before they head to the booth?
Remember, your vote does count.
Mm-hmm. Maybe more so in this.
Maybe more so. And, there's some legislative races, too. And, you can't, please don't sit home and complain after it's all over if you don't go out and exercise your right to vote.
Exactly. Chris, thanks so much for being on the program. Best of luck.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.